Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another D&D storytelling thing. You know, the name that I still haven't came up with because I'm a pleb. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. On the last episode, the group, I forgot. I think the group just made their way back from Shadowfell. Yeah, the group just made their way back from Shadowfell after some interesting experiences with Renzor and Vanola. They did manage to find Yennefer, the Queen of Stormwind, Anaris' husband. Anaris' queen. Wife. Anyways, they also found Gilmore, who is Finnegan's brother. And that's when this episode took place. The group waited 2 months after their return at Shadowfell. Wayren heading to the mage quarters to meet up with Finnegan to go on another date. However, Finnegan was currently occupied by Gilmore. Upon entering, Gilmore did stop Wayren, asking him, or telling him that if he wants to go to Dalaran, he can. However, he can't take many people. He can only take 3, for his powers have not returned yet after returning from the Shadowfell. However, he does have just enough power to send them to Dalaran. So Wayren decided, okay, cool. I'm gonna go get Renzor and Blair. And so he did, and the group went back to Gilmore, as Gilmore made a teleportation circle, sending them to Dalaran, being the strongest magical city known in Zatav, which is this whole material plane. The group teleporting inside Dalaran, they arrived in the middle of this huge kingdom. However, Wayren sensed something was off. The arcane energy and the magical presence wasn't as strong as it used to be. Plus, this being usually a really populated kingdom, there was no one in sight. The group decided to walk around, not seeing anyone. However, Blair did manage to catch a glimpse of this golden dragonborn sitting inside this building, just kind of mumbling to himself. However, when Blair tried to talk to him, he did not respond. As they went inside the building, they just heard him whispering about a brain. The brain wants everything. The brain wants all. Upon hearing this, Wayren's wrist right here began to glow and burn with this really sharp burning pain as the group of the Kirintor, which is the group he belonged to, began to light up and show up on his wrist. And wherever he looked, pointing this symbol, it would glow brighter and burn more. And they decided to follow this symbol, and it led them to the Violet Citadel, where they walked in, found 2 purple skin entities with tentacles for their mouths. Upon entering, the entities told them that, or told Blair, because Blair's the only one that can understand him, who spoke deep speech, that they were intruders and they needed to basically give their weapons and go inside. Well, they decided, no, we're just going to quietly walk out even though we are seen, and then just leave and go hide. So that's what they did. They hid inside a building and barricaded it, Blair. And as they're hiding, getting ready to go out, they seen about 50 of these entities fly past them. And a couple of them stopped at the building, looked inside, and said, "We are expecting you. The brain wishes to see you." The group made their way to the Violet Citadel once more. And instead of going agreeingly, Renzor slammed his huge sword into one of their faces, and they broke out into combat. They did manage to kill these entities, and then traveled inside this cave-like entrance that wasn't there before, according to Wayren. There was all these little tunnels. It was basically a huge colony. As the group made their way up, they went into another chamber where there was 2 more of these entities. These were known as mind flayers. Seemed to be beating up another mind flayer. Blair quickly disguised herself as one of these entities to just put off a good illusion. Upon doing this, she decided to help this mind flayer who was getting attacked, as it called out to help, or as it called out for help. The group quickly killed these mind flayers, and the mind flayer laying on the ground introduced himself as Zelix, an arcane user. This being a mind flayer that uses arcane magic, he was banished from the colony because they hate arcane magic. He said, if you follow me, I can take you to other humanoids that can help us. I know this colony. All I wish is you guys to help me destroy the brain, for I want revenge on it. So the group decided, sure, that's pretty much what we're going to do anyways. And they made their way throughout this, these caves. They made their way to what's known as the library / dissection room, where as they enter, they seen a bunch of these small cells that contained organs, a lot of brains, especially. They also seen this beautiful humanoid with gorgeous red hair, laying on this table as this bigger mind flayer, about the size of Ranzor being about 6 foot something, and 2 more of the lower mind flayers. The group decided to attack these entities. However, the big one attacking Wayren, for Wayren being the one with the highest intelligence, managed to extract his brain from Raven's head, killing Wayren, removing his head entirely. The group broke out into panic, not knowing how to revive this entity. Blair was attacked and almost getting her brain extracted as well. Zelix managed to disintegrate one of the mind flayers that was almost killing her. The woman on the ground yelled, "Bring me the body of the gnome and I can revive him, but time is of the essence." Blair quickly cut open the mind flayer that ate his brain, getting out his brain still intact, and bringing the brain and Wayren to this paladin. As Blair and Ranzor broke off these shackles that were containing her, so she can cast Revivify to bring him back to life. Wayren once again back alive. The woman was freed upon Ranzor and Blair breaking her out. After she got off this table, she quickly got up and grabbed Zelix by his throat, throwing him against a wall and asking, "Why are you working with one of these?" The group explained that it wants to help us, it wants to destroy this brain, it was banished, it just wants to help. The woman decided, okay, I'm not helping it though. It can work with us, but I'm not gonna like it pretty much. The woman introduced herself as L'Oreal, a paladin of the Raven Queen. And she gathered her weapons. She had this huge greatsword known as the Holy Avenger, and she threw it on her shoulder and began following Zelix into this next room. Upon entering this next room, they seen a bunch of cells with this green ooze-like liquid holding a bunch of different humanoids. Two of these humanoids being Wayren's parents, and 6 more cages containing his 3 sisters, 2 brothers, and a human who he did not recognize right away. They fought 2 more mind flayers, quickly killing them. And Wayren, wanting to free his parents, Zelix told Blair that it's useless. We have to kill the brain for them to be released. The group decided to take a short rest real quick, because they were not looking too well. Upon this short rest, Blair received a telepathic voice in her head that told her the brain is expecting you, come on in. And as the group made their way in, they seen this large brain inside this purple black liquid, this goo substance with a glass dome surrounding it. Ranzor quickly walked up to it, slamming his sword against it. Pissing off the brain, they broke into combat. They couldn't break this glass, however, but Zelix managed to destroy it with his Mind Blast, breaking the glass. The group smacked the living crap out of its brain until it died. Upon killing it, however, this blue-purple arcane energy began flowing around the room, and as Zelix held out his hand, it all went into his hand and into his body. And as Wayren tried to run out to see his family, there was a barrier that stopped him, and now, looking around, all the doors were closed, and Zelix seemed to be blocking them. As Zelix thanked them for helping him and freeing him, he has business to do, as his form began to shift into an entity they were quite familiar with, having fought a Goth, a lesser beholder, Zelix now being a official full-on beholder. And they broke into combat with this beholder. Not knowing what to do, not finding a beholder before, Wayren found himself kind of useless, not being able to cast magic from this anti-magic field cone that was blocking everything. The group broke into a hard battle, almost dying quite a bit. However, Ranzor was hit with this purple-pink blast that Zelix used quite familiarly, known as Disintegrate. As this beam hit him, Ranzor's body quickly disintegrated, turning to ash and destroying this 10-foot cube floor that turned into just a void. For Ranzor was now dead. The group quickly trying to figure out how do we kill this thing. They managed to find out that where the outsides of the cone were, and managed to use spells. They managed to get their enchanted items back, and managed to eventually kill this beholder. However, as they sliced the beholder, as it fell into this purple blue ooze, or purple black ooze, it came back up after Blair shrunk it to tiny, and basically it just sucked all the life force out as it fell into this ooze. It came back up as a zombie beholder, once again fighting with it. L'Oreal finishing it off this time with her Holy Adventure, slicing it into pieces, completely obliterating the zombie beholder. Wayren quickly ran out to see his family, not knowing what to do with Ranzor, because normal resurrection wouldn't work because he has no body parts. Ranzor being in this similar space of just a pure white box, the whiteness suddenly turned to black as the Raven Queen, her hair over one shoulder, her white porcelain mask, approached Ranzor, telling him, basically, you died, and now you owe your life to me even more. Her life is mine, talking about Utalga, Ranzor's lover, and you are everything to me. You made a deal with me, and dying is not going to get you out of that. And brought Ranzor back to life as Ranzor's body, or as Ranzor's ashes suddenly began to swirl into the sky and turn into Ranzor's body as Ranzor returned back to life. Blair and L'Oreal looking really confused. But L'Oreal kind of got a gist of what was happening as Blair left to go help Wayren. L'Oreal asked him about the Raven Queen. Ranzor said yes, that she's my deity, and L'Oreal agreed, says, very well, that's basically mine too, as she walked out to help. L'Oreal managed to save Wayren's family, however, she could only save his family, and she could only save basically 7 people, and when there was 8. They decided to help Wayren's family and tried to help this last person, being this human. It wasn't a normal healing, it was this goo-like substance. It was a really difficult task to get it out, as when the goo came out, it turned into this hard substance, making it CPR a lot more difficult. The group decided to work together as Wayren, as Blair did CPR. Wayren sticking his hand in this human's mouth to try to pull out the substance, and Ranzor was slowly guiding it up his throat to make sure it all gets out nicely. The human did come to life, thanking them for helping them, and introduced himself as Khadgar, the Archmage of Dalaran, being Wayren's teacher. The group was really thankful, or the Khadgar was really thankful for them, for saving him, saving Dalaran. And Khadgar told him, "You need to leave right now. Get out of this little colony, for this colony is about to explode due to the brain being destroyed." So the group quickly made their way out. L'Oreal and Khadgar kind of walked together, being the last ones out, following with them over 1,000 people, being almost the entire population of Dalaran stuck inside this colony. As the group made their way out, Khadgar thanked them, and they now have access to Dalaran, which contains the portals to the different dimensions, being the fire plane, the air plane, the Shadowfell, such and such. And also Dalaran being a floating city, it is right above Deepholm, being the portal to the 9 Hells. And that was when we ended this episode. So the group, so far, is doing pretty good. They have access to Dalaran now, which is the biggest, best magical city. They have access to a lot of portals now. Also, Khadgar mentioned that the only reason these mind flayers took over is because it takes a lot of energy, a lot of magic to teleport a huge kingdom. So whoever the mind flayers might have been here previously and took advantage of that situation. But yeah, the group's doing better. They're getting some. They got a lot of experience from this. They're now level, I think, 12 and 11, I think. Not sure, but that's good for me because higher levels mean better monsters. So I'm excited. I shouldn't be, but I'm excited. Really excited. And yeah. So the group is on their way to an interesting journey. I have a lot planned for them still. Plus, I know they definitely want to go to the 9 Hells to try to save Inaris, which is going to be interesting. Never less to say, but it's going to be interesting. But thank you guys very much for watching this episode. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next episode of this D&D storytelling. Bye bye.